Hey friends, this is Jill Case here with your astrological interpretation for the week, and this is October 7th. And I just want to state that this is truly timeless wisdom that I feel like is coming through. So even if you're watching this video later or you're, not really into astrology, this is truly, I think, a message that's coming through for us to integrate over time. And I think it is a timeless, it's always been wisdom. So if you're not familiar with what I've coined this time, you can go back and watch my Libra Season Overview. But I think it's tipping the scales for amplified relationships. And that's any type of relationship. It doesn't have to just be your intimate partner. And I think this week, intimacy is up for us. And in my overview, I talked about there's a lot of components that really constitute amplified relationships, like trust, speaking honestly. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to go into them right now. But one of them is that honesty, that speaking and telling the truth. It's sharing ourselves, and not just sharing like we do on social media where we share like the best parts of our life. It's sharing all of it. It's sharing the realness, the humanness, because that's truly where we connect. They say that the universal connector is that we all suffer. And truly, like those of us that have gone through really deep parts of our life, like we feel that, right? We feel that connection to other people that might have gone through something similar. And even if it wasn't similar, whatever experience it was, whether it was grief or hardship or whatever it was, there's something that we can recognize in each other. And to have greater intimacy with another, it starts by having greater intimacy with ourselves. And this week, there are 3 planets that are in a trine. We have Mars in Cancer, which is a really personal draw for us to really know what gives us emotional security, to really attend to our feelings. We have Venus in Scorpio, which is all about intimacy with the other. It's about really like what's underneath, the things that we don't want others to see, that we attract in our life so that we can see and that we can share and really develop more of that empowerment to be ourselves. And Saturn in Pisces, which is where we resist how we're interconnected, and that really what we all experience, or what you might be experiencing individually, we all experience. I heard something the other day about a Buddhist teacher that was talking about it in a meditation. I think Pema Chodron was sharing this, and she said that a beautiful way to open to the friendliness inside of us and the friendliness that allows us to feel what we feel is to realize that anything that we feel, others feel. And so you can say it like this: I feel fear about the unknown, just like everyone else. I feel insecurity about myself, just like everyone else. So you really recognize what you feel, and then you realize that you're not alone in feeling that there are people that are feeling it right now, and there are people that are feeling it and have felt it in the past and will feel it in the future. And so this week, I think the trio of these planets are inviting us to deeper intimacy with ourselves, because truly, if we're not intimate with ourselves, if we don't know how we feel, if we're not able to really sit and be in stillness with ourselves, how can we truly relate to someone? Because what they'll see is what we're trying to be or what we're trying to hide. They'll see kind of our the shell of us, and with that, we don't really get greater fulfillment in those relationships. We feel like we have to overwork or overdo, or maybe we people please, or maybe we love bomb, or we do the things, or maybe we over compensate. And it's a lot of work, and it leaks a lot of our energy, and it brings us out of ourselves, out of our truth. And so truly the way to really allow ourselves to have these relationships that really allow us to grow and be enriched and to feel more comfortable with who we are, and to really allow ourselves to be who we are, because that is what we're trying to do, is empower ourselves to really be more authentic. And so the way we do that is through intimacy. So this week especially, I think the stars, the planets are asking us to be in stillness at times, to really track how you're feeling. And ways, if you're not really so great at that, because I'll admit, this is something that took years and years of practice within my own life, because I was really good at hiding my emotions or focusing on others' emotions, is notice how people around you are feeling and ask yourself, am I feeling that too? Another way is just to sit quietly, take a deep breath, maybe touch your heart and ask yourself, like, what's going on for me? Notice the thoughts that you're thinking. And oftentimes, if you notice the thoughts, you notice the feelings that they cultivate. But I do find, friends, that this takes presence. We have to actually sit with ourselves. We can't be doing this in 1,000 other things. We can't put this at the end of our day. Really, feelings show up when they want to show up. And to me, they're like toddlers at times, where if you ignore them, they just get louder and louder and louder. And I find it much more helpful to attend to them when they're actually asking for attention. So look for the emotions in others. Spend some quiet time. First, check in with your body. How does my body feel? How do I feel about how my body feels? What are the thoughts running through my head? How do I feel about those thoughts? And then maybe you just ask yourself, how do I feel? And then what else? What else? And what else? And then the genius practice, I think, for this week is know whatever you feel, to feel it. Allow yourself not to run from it, to just take a deep breath and get cozy with it. Invite it in with so much friendliness and compassion. And then repeat that mantra. I feel fill in the blank, just like everyone else. And friends, as we do that, we really open our hearts and we're able to connect to others more deeply. So the next time someone calls and says, how you doing? You can say, well, do you have a minute? I'll tell you how I feel. And share the truth. Maybe you don't say, good, how are you? And then move on. Maybe you do have to call up someone that is in your deeper friend circle and ask for support. Ask to maybe let that person be a soundboard or to be a good listener. I find with this that it's really great to have good hygiene. So I love asking people, do you have time? Do you have capacity to listen? Because the worst is to just dump our feelings on another and want them to fix it or want them to make it better. That isn't intimacy. That's actually codependency. So what we want to do is be able to first feel our feelings, and then as we have felt them and we know what we need, then we can move towards another, to share, to attune, to connect. So I hope that this is helpful for you. Please like and share this video, comment if you've got questions. Truly, this is a time for profound healing for our emotions, for our self-worth, our self-esteem. And the best way we do this is to share wisdom and to really share practices that work for us. So if this is working for you, if this is touching you in any way, please share. Please send it to someone who might just need to hear what this video has to say. My heart goes out to you, friends. Let's be intimate with ourselves and each other this week. Let's be real. Let's share honestly and truthfully from our hearts. And let's watch how more connected we feel to ourselves and each other, and how that truly amplifies our relationships. Blessings.